The problem with short form content is that it's bad. It wastes your dopamine and it completely wrecks your attention span. If you've been on the internet for a while, you probably know about an app called Vine. It's one of the earliest examples of short form content. The videos posted on Vine were rather cringy. But somehow we all enjoy it because for some reason we thought it was funny. I mean, what was even happening here? Fast forward a few years and on some random Saturday, a random company decided to release an app called Musical.ly. It wasn't that popular at first, especially while Vine was still around. But then, when Vine shut down, there was no major short-form content app to fill the void. Sure, Musical.ly existed, but there was no way it was ever going to take over. Wait a minute. No, never mind. On January 19, 2025, TikTok was temporarily banned in the US. Well, TikTok being banned in the US means the whole app would take a massive hit because, I mean, come on. It's obvious that Americans carry TikTok for ages and now they're banned? Wait, are they? Sorry, I jumped to conclusions too fast. Turns out TikTok was only banned for about 16 hours or so in the US because Donald Trump vowed to halt the ban. Some people think the whole thing was just a stunt to make Trump look like some sort of hero. I mean, it's 2025, so of course there are people out there who believes this was just a propaganda move, leading to the
Hello, do you receive my echo? My life is a party.
Anyway, the whole TikTok ban drama started heating up back in February 2024.
Sir Chow, if I plug in my earphones into my phone while they're in my ear, can TikTok know what's going on in my brain, please?
And now that it's technically been banned for several hours, there's a chance this might happen again in the future. But you know, that all depends on good old Trump. Speaking of him, don't get too excited because he tried pulling the same exact move a couple of years ago and failed. So who knows if TikTok will actually be safe if he takes control of the situation again. Okay, enough of the political roller coaster, let's get to the actual point of this video. I don't know about you guys, but I've got a serious problem with short form content, like a real problem. I've been trapped in this endless scroll cycle ever since I was, what, 13? Yeah, back in the early TikTok days when we thought dancing to Savage Love was peak content.
Savage love, there's somebody.
I haven't gone a single day without diving into short form content since then. Hearing that, you can probably tell I have a really messed up attention span, and if you're thinking that, you're right, I did. But over the past few months, I've been trying to do something about it, mainly because I was getting tired of feeling like a zombie with a phone. So I started by limiting my screen time and cutting down how much I use my phone. I even tried deleting social media, and at first I thought, alright, if I delete TikTok, maybe I will actually start improving myself, and boy, that was a bad idea. Why? Because I ended up switching to YouTube thinking I'd watch long form videos only to get sucked into YouTube Shorts, which is basically the same thing. But after a few months of using YouTube as my main entertainment platform, I've started to pull myself out of the abyss thanks to some self-improvement YouTubers like Ruri Ohama and Jeff Pickard. They opened my eyes to the fact that these quick clips are actually training our brains to have the attention of a goldfish. So if you catch yourself glued to short-form content all the time, maybe it's time to start cutting back and invest in something that will actually stick with you. But even if you want to break free, there is no denying the role of the algorithm plays in all of this. With the rise of short-form content, it's easier than ever for people to flex their creativity and show off their artistic skills. But of course, there are always those who find ways to abuse the system. You know the ones I'm talking about. The videos with Subway Surfers gameplay, micro parkour, or those oddly satisfying clips playing in the background. They are designed to keep you hooked and exploit your already messed up attention span. I don't know about you guys, but this stuff feels like it's just trying to glue your face to your phone, and honestly it serves no meaningful purpose or adds anything that actually improves your life. That said, short form content can actually work when it comes to memes and trends, but honestly it all depends on who's watching. Some people might think those quick meme pack clips are hilarious, while others like me are just sitting there like, why am I watching this? I mean seriously, your head popping up off a toilet seat. How is that funny? Yeah, sure, maybe a 6-year-old will crack up, but to the rest of us, it's like, what am I doing with my life right now? And don't even get me started on Instagram Reels. It's like TikTok and YouTube Shorts had a baby and that baby somehow turned out to be way worse. The comments, oh boy, it's like some people are just out here trying to find any reason to drop an N-word like it's Casual Tuesday.
You can achieve anything in your life, my nigga. You just ain't realized that yet.
It's honestly embarrassing, and let's not forget the content itself. It's like they're trying so hard to be relatable and funny. But it just ends up being a bunch of overproduced cringy nonsense. That being said, short form content can work when it's done right, but it's not supposed to replace actual meaningful content. Sure, it's great for sparking interest, but if all you're doing is scrolling through random clips with your substance, you're probably not getting anything out of it. And that's where long form content comes in. With the rise of short-form content that we daily feed on in our free time or whenever we have nothing else to do, it begs the question, what about the case for long-form content? See, unlike those quick dopamine hits from 30-second videos, long-form content actually gives creators space to dive deeper into their ideas, tell richer stories, and actually connect with their audience. You can't pack all that into a 30-second clip. It takes time to build something that actually sticks with people, and that's what makes long-form content so valuable. Think about it. When you watch a long-form video, you're not just skimming the surface. You're diving deep, getting a full picture, and actually learning something or walking away with a new perspective. I don't know about you, but after watching a 15-second TikTok, I don't feel like I've achieved anything except maybe wasting 15 seconds of my life. Sure, I might chuckle or keep scrolling, but when I actually sit down to watch a 10-20 minute video, that's when I get to think. So when you're done with the quick TikToks, the Instagram Reels, and the minor scrolling, long-form content is where the real meaningful stuff happens. And that brings us to the bigger picture. What does the future of content consumption looks like? So after all this back and forth about short-form and long-form content, the real question is, can we have both? I mean, sure, short-form content gives you that instant hit of entertainment, but long-form content actually gives you something worth thinking about. The question is, can they coexist in a balanced way? And what if they actually complemented each other? As content creation evolves, I think we are heading toward a hybrid approach, a mix of short and long-form content that plays to the strength of both. Short-form content can serve as a teaser, a hook to get people interested, while long-form content dives into the deeper stuff. The way people consume content is changing. With platforms like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram Reels taking over, people have shorter attention spans than ever before. But there is still a huge audience for long-form content. It's not like everyone's going to stop watching documentaries or listening to podcasts. I mean, I still watch hours of YouTube videos or binge watch a series when I have the time. But if I'm just killing a few minutes between tasks, I'm scrolling through TikTok or watching some funny clips. People are getting smarter with how they consume media, so the key will be finding the right balance between instant gratification and the more immersive, thoughtful stuff. And speaking of balance, that brings me to a bigger point. How we as both creators and consumers approach the way we engage with content. At the end of the day, you've got to realize that those instant gratification hits, the dopamine boost, and yeah, all that time you wasted is on you. Now don't worry, I'm not trying to be some self-improvement guru here. I'm not wearing a rise on grind hoodies or anything. But seriously, you gotta be aware of what you're consuming. If you're just mindlessly scrolling through short clips all day, sure it's fun, but it's not doing you any favors in the long run. Doing both long form and short form content is fine, but the key is balance. You can watch that quick TikTok for a laugh, but don't let it be the only thing you're putting into your brain. You've got to mix it up with something that actually makes you think or teaches you something. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time, and time is not something you get back. So be conscious of how you are spending your time, find that balance, and make sure you're getting something out of what you watch.